In this video, we're going to take a look at the basic building blocks of how we're going to write logical arguments. To start things off, we need to know what a statement is. A statement is anything that can be verified as definitely true or definitely false, but not both. For example, if you live in Dallas, then you live in Texas. This is something you can verify is actually true. You can't live in Dallas but also not live in Texas at the same time. Next, all prime numbers are odd. This is actually a false statement since 2 is a prime number and it's even. Lastly, soup is delicious. Well, this is not a statement since it could be true for some people but not true for others. So as mathematicians, we don't really deal with things that are not statements. We only care about things that we can verify as definitely true or definitely false. And the state of being true or false, we call that the truth value. So every statement has a value of either being true or being false. With statements, we're going to perform operations. Think of when you're really young and you first learn your counting numbers, 1, 2, 3, etc. You learn those and then you learn things that you can do with them. You start performing operations like addition or subtraction. You see what happens when you take two numbers and you add them or subtract them, multiply, etc. So we're going to perform operations with statements. The first operation, we're going to do the negation of a statement. All this does is it provides a new statement with the opposite truth value and opposite meaning. So for example, suppose we have the statement, geometry is a math class. This is a statement. It's definitely true. The negation would look something like geometry is not a math class, and this is a false statement. So the negation produces a new statement with the opposite truth value and the opposite meaning. The next thing we're going to do with statements, we're going to join them together in various ways. So we're forming what are called compound statements. These are statements formed by joining two or more different statements. The first compound statement we're going to look at, or first kind, is called a conjunction. This is a compound statement where we form it using two or more statements with the join and. So for example, Texas is a state and Dallas is a city. Here we're joining the statements Texas is a state and the statement Dallas is a city. We put them together with the and. All together, that's one whole new statement. Since both of those are true, yeah, this is a true conjunction. Next, two lines can intersect at a point, and every segment has a length. Again, two different statements. We just put that word and in between them. This is another true conjunction, since both are true. Lastly, 4 is an odd number, and 2 is even. Well, we know 2 is even, and we also know that 4 is also even, so this would be a false conjunction. So a big idea we should get out of this is that conjunctions are only true when all of the statements being joined are true. If you can find at least one statement in a conjunction that's false, that makes the entire compound statement, the entire conjunction, false. Next we have disjunctions. This is a compound statement formed using the join or. So for example, EST is a school or Texas is a continent. Well, yeah, EST is a school. We know Texas isn't a continent, but this actually is going to be a true disjunction altogether. 3 is an odd number or Dallas is a city. Both of those are true, and this is going to be a true disjunction. Texas is a continent or 2 is an odd number. Now both of these are false, so this would be a false disjunction. So these work kind of opposite to conjunctions. The big idea we should get from here is disjunctions are only false when all of the statements joined are false. If you can find at least one true statement in a disjunction, that makes the entire thing true. So again, works very opposite to conjunctions. A couple of symbols that we're going to see this chapter and actually throughout the year, this little tilde, that squiggly symbol there, that's a symbol that's going to mean the negation of a statement. If you see that capital A looking thing without that bar in the middle, that's going to mean conjunction, or the word and. And if you see that V, or that upside down sort of capital A without the bar, that's going to mean or disjunction. So this should give you plenty of information to get a head start on 2.2, and next time we'll look at 2.3.